Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36, reference 116000. You can see this 36mm steel time-only chronometer and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this reference 116000. Now, this is a watch that combines an immense amount of style in a compact and compelling package to fit a broad range of wrists. You can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, the Oyster Perpetual, which is the most direct descendant of the breakthrough Rolex Bubbleback, the first mass-produced, water-resistant automatic winding watch. This watch fits easy as the descendant of those traditionally sized and proportioned pioneering timepieces. Now, those were typically 31 to 33 millimeters. This one's 36 across the round of the case from 9 to 3, but it still wears a treat. It's also fairly slim. It's not an ultra-thin at 11.6 millimeters thick, but you can see with a generously rounded case flank and dome-style bezel how easily this would slide underneath a dress cuff. Now, one of the few Rolex watches that has essentially an identical lug-to-lug span and end-link to end-link span. The horizontal distance across the wrist is a very manageable 45.6, so I believe you could wear this watch with style and a handsome proportion on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference. My wrist is 16, and I have plenty of flared bracelet on both sides. This watch is nowhere near its lower limit for size on my wrist. That said, if you have a larger wrist and you respect the classics, there's no reason why you couldn't wear this one with style. This watch has a particularly compelling dial that makes it read larger than it is, and we'll get into that in a moment, but let's take a look at the bracelet first. It's the classic 3-link oyster design, all satin finish on the tops, polished on the flanks, of course sized with screws, not spring bars or pins and sleeves. It is a media blasted interior finish within the clasp, and you'll note that there are several incremental sizing detents for the bracelet link to be moved in and out for micro adjustment. At this entry-level price point, we don't have Easy Link, but we do get the same high quality, tight tolerance, milled out steel clasp, also polished on its flank and satin on its top. Now, the watch itself is not a supercase Rolex, meaning it doesn't have the gigantic squared off flanks and lug ends that we associate with, for instance, a contemporary GMT Sea Dweller or Submariner. If you want to see what I mean, well, I just happen to have a contemporary Submariner. You can see how the case flanks are effectively flat and sheer. The lugs are broad and squared off. This is the look of a Rolex tool watch, but it is lacking in elegance. As exciting as this watch is, that's the Hulk right there, nevertheless, there is a sensuality about the curvature of both the domed bezel and the case flanks of this Oyster Perpetual that appeal in a more humanistic, warmer, and charming fashion. Now, you note that it is all of high polish, and it actually wears this with extreme, in my opinion, elegance, style, and timeless appeal. Satin finish on the tops of the lugs nicely matches the center links of the bracelet. As you can see, the conforming end links of the bracelet are satin finish to match the lug hoods. But in profile, it is all about the polish and the way those beautifully curved case flanks catch and play with the light, distort it, bend it, and reflect it. It almost has the look of a silver flame dancing in the light. Now, the watch does have a tremendous amount of reactivity, and not just because of the case, but because of the dial. You can see it features applied 5-point white gold Rolex coronet at 12 with applied and loomed 3, 6, and 9 tri-Arabics. So you've got a little bit of the Explorer dial aesthetic, but then you also have a fully calibrated Arabic numeral scale outboard. Now, there's a chapter ring between the inner dial and the outer dial. The outer dial, by the way, having a radially grained sunburst pattern, the inner dial featuring a sort of blue metallic gadron. There are concentric circular lines of guilloche, so circles radiating out a little bit like a blue record with deep grain. They have immense texture and depth. This is not a typical sunray pattern. This is something much deeper with more of a three-dimensional appeal when viewed in person. Now, the dial is loomed, and we're going to take a look at a loom shot at the end of the video, but I want to emphasize that this dial is defined by the applied tri-Arabics, the Arabic printing around the metallic track at the outer circumference, and that gorgeous metallic blue gadron center dial. Absolutely spectacular, with a movement to match. Now, inside it's caliber 3130, 31 joules, automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve. It beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. With a screwed-in case back and a screwed-down crown, the watch does have 100-meter water resistance. It also has a free-sprung balance architecture, which means it is robustly shock-resistant, and with a full balance bridge, the advantage vis-a-vis shocks is compounded. Now, it has an overcoil hairspring for resistance to positional deviation, so most hairsprings don't beat concentrically. They don't have a perfectly centered center of gravity. By doubling up the terminal curve, approaching the stud, you can actually create an overcoil, often described as a Breguet overcoil in its most common form, that will help the watch to defeat the slowing or speeding effects of gravity with respect to chronometric precision and timing. So the watch achieves COSC chronometer status, and though it is timed as a separate movement by the COSC, Rolex then cases up the movement and tests the watch to make sure it remains a chronometer or better, the chronometer standards being -4 seconds per 24 hours or +6. The watch does feature hacking seconds, so when you pull out the crown, unscrew it first, pull the crown, you can stop the seconds hand and synchronize to a known accurate reference time. As with all contemporary Rolex watches, every piece from the hands to the features of the dial, the case, the bracelet, the clasp, and the movement, manufactured entirely in-house. Fall in love with a living legend, the Oyster Perpetual 36, on our website. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36, reference 116000, loomed hours, minutes, and tri-Arabics. See it on our website.